Okay, one more clip from this book. This must be YouTube clip 84, I think. Got to make them shorter. Thursday, August the 18th, 8:54 a.m. I do wish the Mumsy would check with me beforehand to see if I am up to entertaining. Maybe I should consider getting a secretary. Yesterday with the Pat and the Derek was a classic case of point. Naturally, I am comfortable, I am settled, I am relaxed. And so I am hoiked out of my cot and deposited on the lap of the Pat, who proceeds to bounce me up and down on her knee like I am a basketball and she is auditioning for the Harlem Globetrotters, whilst putting emotional torpedoes through my self-esteem by saying things like, well, she is heavy, and isn't she a big girl then? Well, maybe she is, but there's no need for you to shake her down a few pounds, thank you very much. I mean, would they do this to a donkey? What's next, I thought. A quick game of pass-a-passer with me? It is times like those that I wish I had a stomach full of ice cream and lemonade. And what will you be when you grow up then, Emily Jade? Taller. Try bouncing me then. My daughter's a doctor. Well, she probably needs to be. Who cares anyway? My daughter will be the country's second woman Prime Minister. And first not mad as a hatter one. I just realised this book is out of date. We've had 2 women Prime Ministers in this country now. Maybe by the time you're watching this, 3. 47. Who knows? As the Pat dribbled me around the lounge, preparing to slam dunk me into one of the hanging plant baskets, she followed this less than riveting piece of news with, I'd forgotten how soft and cuddly little children are. It's been a long, long time since I had a little baby in my arms. Oh, goody. Now, if this lady had turned up on the doorstep and announced that she hadn't driven a car for 15 years, I somehow doubt that Dadsy would have handed over the keys to the Saab and said to her, here you are, Toots, go for a spin. But his own flesh and blood? Oh, that's no problem. There you go, madam, one baby, do what you want. Yes, she does go red if you hold her upside down by the ankles, doesn't she? How old is she, Isla? Chimed in the Derek, presumably checking that I was still under guarantee. 7 months now, replied the Mumsy, who is always keen to divulge my personal details to anyone within range. It amazes me sometimes that she does not stop total strangers in the street, grab them by the shoulders and yell, 18 pounds, 7 months, 2 weeks, and still breastfeeding, into their ears. When she is old and decrepit and being a burden to me by not going into a home stroke dying, I should take great delight in wheeling her around Castle Care in a bath chair, pointing to her and yelling out, incontinent, flatulent, and soon to be dead, at the top of my voice. 7 months, exclaimed Madam Bounce, putting her face right up next to mine. I wondered if I should bite her nose as an act of introduction, but decided against it. Lack of any teeth playing a major part in my decision. Do you know how old my daughter is, Emily Jade? What am I, Central Statistics Office? If you don't know, how am I supposed to? She's 24. So that makes you, let me see, boring. You could be my granddaughter, couldn't you? Could be. How much does the job pay? I think that Pat is a little broody, smiled the Derek, at his wife's blatant attempts to affix herself to my list of relatives without a down payment. No, I'm joking. Our Annette is a career girl, doesn't particularly want children, you know. I know some babies who don't particularly want parents. Have a look in the supermarket on a busy Saturday afternoon. However, must confess to being somewhat taken aback by declaration of the Annette's reluctance to have an offspring, as assume that to all women, babies are essential, coveted objects of desire, not to mention hereditary. Even shoes take second place. 10:15 p.m. How can there be people who would not want their own little me? Mega severe blow to self-regard. Midnight. Don't know what day it is. Don't care. Can't sleep. Still in shock at not indispensable after all revelation. Considering therapy. And chocolate. So there was that bit there, and I'm going to close this down now and take a break for 10 minutes. I know you wanted to know that.